So guys, we have come to the end of this training. This is so much we could do in the time that we had. So we started with a blank worksheet, and by now you should have something almost sophisticated looking with employee data, where we've put in quite a number of functions from string functions that join or concatenate data. We have extracted an initial from a first name using the left function. We have determined the length of our last name. We used an if statement to determine gender from a title, Mr. or Miss. And from our date, we used date functions to get the month, the day, as well as the age of the person. We also calculated number of years that the person has been working from the start date, and then how many years are left to retirement. We calculated from the retirement age, then we subtracted the age of the person. So the employee worksheet that we had is quite loaded with functions. Then I took you to the reports where we linked fields from the data file, but we are now linking to create reports with few selected columns. So we created an employee basic report, and then we also created a retirement report that only extracts the name, department, job title, age, and the retirement age. So I also showed you how to do a bit of formatting on your report as well. One of the most important aspects was this parameter file, where we set up the different dimensions or parameters that we need to be standard, so that when the users are entering data in their employee data worksheet, they are forced to select say the department. So we put a drop down which takes data from these parameters, and same thing with the head office and also the job title. So every time that you'd like to restrict users to a particular list of data, you need to create that list, and then you use your data validation so that you create a drop-down list on the field that you want to control. I took you to the loans worksheet, where we used the payment function. It's a financial function to calculate monthly installment on a home loan. So this sheet that we created is like a what if analysis, where for the same loan amount we are just playing around with the number of years, the interest rate, to see how the monthly repayment would be changing. Then, very important, we went to pivot charts, where I showed you how to create various pivot charts to summarize data and lay it out in the way that is most appropriate for your department or for your organization. We also created some graphs as well, some charts, some bar charts. We did one pie chart. So by now you should be able to utilize the charts function through the insert menu. And then I showed you how to create a data collection form that restricts users to only type in data in the fields that are open. So you can translate any of the forms that you use in the organization and make it into an electronic form, so that instead of people sending you paper forms, you can actually send them an electronic form So this could be your workers. It can even be people applying for jobs. You can create a job application form in Excel, and you protect it the way that I showed you. Then the last thing that I showed you was to create a macro where you record a set of events so that you can repeat them anytime you want. So I showed you how to do a macro for this simple data, and then just for fun I also showed you how to do a macro even to draw an image using the shapes on the insert menu. So whenever you're creating your worksheets, you are going to need to be using some of these features. The shapes, as you can see, they are quite varied. Sometimes you see people on their worksheets with various shapes and you wonder where they are getting from. They are simply here under the shapes on the insert menu. Right. So I sincerely hope that you have benefited a lot, and I'm hoping to meet you in other trainings for Excel and other applications. But most importantly, I want you to make sure that you submit to me your worksheet, the one that you've been working on. And the best case scenario is that your worksheet looks exactly like mine. That would make me 100% happy. The least case scenario is that your worksheet does not look like mine, but it at least demonstrates that you understood everything that we were discussing. Right. Okay, so if you have got any questions, you can direct them to me directly on my email or on my cell number, or you can direct them through your human resources department. Otherwise, it has been a pleasure working with you through this course. Until we meet again, this is Mr. Tendayi from Foundation for Business Technology saying goodbye.